Neil and no Kieran Tierney or James Forrest that training when the cameras were out there. Is there any concern about them this weekend?
No.
So was there any reason?
Well, we let you bring the cameras in, and now you're asking me about players being available or not available. All players are available for Sunday. Up until now, it may change. There'll be a few assessed before we go into the game on Sunday, but at the minute everyone's fit.
What are you thinking ahead of this game then, going back to Ivory?
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to the game as champions. Obviously we're in great form. Rangers are in good form as well. So it's a game that I think everyone's looking forward to. No more so than myself. It's been a while since I've been in the dugout at Ibrox with Celtic, so it's always a good occasion to look forward to.
A lot's been made, and we've asked quite a lot about the small number of away allocation. You were used to that in your last 3 visits with Hibernian, and it didn't seem to trouble your teams, but how will it impact on this fixture in terms of how you approach it?
How I approach it?
In terms of how you see it and what impact it can
have. It'll be different, because normally you have in these games, normally you have the back of the goal, the 2 tiers, and it always provides a great atmosphere. And Rangers aren't going to do anything to do us any favours. It's their decision to cut the allocation. We've already sampled it, so the players have had an experience of it. Didn't play that great, so we know we can play better. But there's nothing I can say on that other than we're going out there to try and win the game with the champions, and we have to play and act accordingly like champions.
In a way, is this the perfect game after clinching the league in terms of motivation for the players?
I don't think the players need any motivation for this game. I think the fixture takes care of itself. There's a lot of build up to it, but we were more concerned with winning the league. It was important, hugely important to the club. We've got the big one in the trophy cabinet again, and we can look forward to the remaining games, and obviously we've got a huge cup final to look forward to at the end of the month. So I would like us to finish on 90 points. At the minute we're on 84. We've got 2 wins to try and get that, and that's what we're going to try and do.
Have the players spoken about the heart of the last game at Ibrox?
No. I must have lost my memory. I'm sure we beat Rangers on the 31st of March, so I think we've already rectified that with a really good performance to win the game. So in a pressure situation, so we go there off the back of the last derby with a win.
How much would a win in this one mean for you personally, with all the speculation around your future?
None of doing my speculation around my job. It would mean a lot to me personally, because it's always great to win at Ibrox as a Celtic manager or as a Celtic player. So, Sunday, if we do win, will be no different.
We know that Kieran's going to have an operation. Is there a chance you could play the 3 games for the end of the season?
I'm not sure. I think 3 might be a big ask for him, but certainly he's in contention for Sunday, and obviously we've got him in mind for the cup final as well.
Is he keen to play the 3 games?
Well, you have to hold Kieran back, but obviously you can see it takes its toll on him. I thought he was great, considering last week he was probably at 70%, but a 70% Kieran Tierney's a lot better than most people's 100%.
Given that the league's already won, would you not consider giving them 2 games rest before the final?
Thanks for that, Ronnie. I will consider it, thanks.
Neil, with Rangers pressing high in the last couple of derbies, will you be telling the players to sort of secure the back or play through the press? Play safe at the back?
Play safe at the back?
So, because they were pressing high last couple of times, what will you be advising the players to do?
You want me to tell you what I'm going to tell the players before the game? I don't really want to divulge that publicly, but we know what they expect going to Ibrox. Rangers, are a formidable team at home. Very, electric atmosphere. It's a great game. It's a game for any player who's involved with Celtic to look forward to and thrive on. We're going to have to play well. We're going to have to play strong. I mean, it's not a meaningless game by any stretch of imagination, and we have our own, targets and motivation for the game. Do we miss the press out? We may have to. If we can play through the press, great. If we can't, then there's other ways to skin a cat.
How important is Scott Brown going to be in terms of his leadership in this game?
Scott Brown's always important. It's a big game. He's a big game player. So think it's pretty easy to say that Scott Brown will be playing on Sunday.
Neil, there was a run of old firms where Celtic registered some pretty big victories, some emphatic ones, but do you feel the real competitive edge is now returned to this fixture?
Yeah, I mean, you only have to look at the games this season to see how competitive and high octane and the quality of the games have been, very high. So I expect nothing less come Sunday.
Rangers will be maybe looking to lay down a marker for next season with a win at the weekend. Is that something that figures in your mind, that a win for your guys just sort of keeps that notion of a revival at bay on the other side of the city?
Revival? What do you mean a revival?
As in terms of challenging for the title?
Well, I don't think if we lose on Sunday it will have any bearing on the championship next season at all. If we win, will it have any bearing on the championship next season? No. It's two big teams going at it, for probably pride, 3 points more than anything else, because there's no trophy at stake, but it's the next Celtic Rangers episode, and it's the most important one because it's the next one.
Is it important to keep the momentum going as you build up towards the cup final?
Yes, very much so. Important to keep players, fit, match sharp, but I will look to, use the squad as well. I look to play some younger players as well.
You've seen at the last Old Firm game, Rangers lost their discipline, red cards, and managers sent to the stand after the game and whatnot. Is that something that you maybe can exploit this time round as well, to get into the heads of the players?
That's not a tactic I adopt. It's not my problem that they've got a huge disciplinary problem. And if it manifests itself again on Sunday, then we'll try and take advantage of it.
You see Scott Brown, they were, as I said, it's not targeting Scott Brown.
Yeah, they did. You did. Yes, they did, and they did after the game as well.
In that sense, how important is it that you say to Scott Brown, though, that he remains and plays the way he would play, no matter if he is targeted or no matter if they try to get in ahead of him?
Scott Brown's a veteran of these games. He's been here 10, 12 years. He's played over 500 games. I don't need to tell Scott Brown how to manage himself through a game of football. He does it very, very well. And the bigger the game, the more he enjoys.
Police always come in for a chat with the players before this fixture. I know they were in today. Given what happened in the last game, did they have anything extra to say?
No. What did happen?
No, I know.
No, but you're bringing it up, so you tell me what happened.
I just wondered if the police have said any more because of what happened at the end of the game. I'm not saying that the Celtic players were to blame. I just didn't know if they.
I think the normal rules of play, stay on the pitch. If there's pyrotechnics or flares or anything like that thrown onto the pitch, stay away from it. We've got specially trained people to deal with that sort of thing. So, yeah, I mean the players are well aware of it. My players' conduct has been impeccable, so I have no issue with obviously the police coming in and routinely telling them, what's required. I've every confidence in the discipline of my team.
Do you expect anything different from Rangers? Because they've changed slightly since the last meeting, probably due to suspensions, but do you expect anything different in their approach?
Well, they've won 5 out of 5, since we beat them, so I would imagine it may be difficult for Stephen to. He may want to change personnel here and there, but it's very difficult to change a winning team. I can't think for him. I can only consider what my team is and what our approach is going to be and what formation we play.
Neil, have you done anything to change your side defensively? You've only conceded 2 goals since you've come in. Was it just a case of continuing what was already in place?
Just continuing what was already in place, and we've had to rejig it a little bit with Dedrick being out and at times Kieran. We brought Mika back in. Josu's come in and been a revelation for us. So what you've got is a very good defensive unit, playing very, very well. And added to that behind him, my goalkeeper's been absolutely outstanding. Since I've come in, outstanding in all departments of his game.
Okay. And there could be a number of defenders leaving this summer. How important do you think it is to keep the solidity going forward into next season, especially considering the European qualifiers come so early?
Yeah, it's crucial. We're working away in the background on that. Obviously, we don't want the squad to break up too much, but we do know the players are going to move and the loans are coming to an end, and that'll be a consideration as well. But I think it's really important to keep the core of the group intact, because we have to hit the ground running again as quickly as possible.
I don't know how much credence we should give speculation on social media, but there was a lot of talk about Lee Griffiths during the week. Can you set the record straight in terms of his future and how key he is to this club?
Well, I don't know what you're referring to.
There was some, again, as I said, I don't know whether it should be given credence, but saying that his future at the club might be in doubt, etc.
Just complete nonsense. I mean, it's social media, so we live in an age of fake news and people, want to stir trouble for people, and I think Lee gets more than his fair share of unfair negativity. He's working very, very hard. He was in yesterday, he was in today. His condition is improving all the time, so we're hoping that he'll hopefully start training out on the grass next week. In terms of stuff away from the club, his behaviour's been impeccable.
Is that Hearts game still a target for him, the last home game?
Well, it's not realistic, to be honest with you, because he's been out for so long and he's not really, interacted with the group in terms of his football side of things. So it's just been a case of getting him physically fit and in really good condition. And he's worked very, very hard over the last couple of months. So where these stories are coming from, I'm sorry, it's just complete nonsense.
How proud will you be when potentially Victor Wanyama and Roger Van Dijk will play in a European Cup final against each
Yeah,
other?
it's amazing. I'm so happy for the two of them. You get a small tinge of pride because you've played a small part in their development and part of their career. They've gone on. We knew their talent, and it should give our players here huge motivation, to look at those two who were teammates and playing in this environment. Andy Robertson as well. You got three lads there who played a big part in Scottish football recently, and now they're going to the Champions League final. I think it's absolutely brilliant.
Is that something the club can use to attract players to say, look what you can go on and do?
Of course. I mean, Virgil's the example really of what this club can provide. We know we can't compete with the English Premier League or the major leagues in terms of finances and transfer fees and wages, but what we can give them is a footballing development that can take you on to the great things, or you can have a brilliant career here like some are doing at the minute.
Was there a part of you that would have liked to have seen Ajax go through because they're a more comparable side to Celtic, smaller league, smaller budget?
Not really. No, I just enjoyed the game for what it was. I thought it was an outstanding semi-final and the sheer will of Spurs in the end. And sometimes you can talk about tactics and formations. It's just the sheer desire of Spurs and will to win got them over the line. It was absolutely breathtaking stuff to watch. And the same the night before, the sheer will of Liverpool in the end, ran Barcelona down. It was amazing to watch.
Been a lot of talk of Champions League reform and given the big spending clubs a lot more places, is that something that may worry yourself and the club that they may be priced out of a place in Europe next season? Or
next season?
Not next season, but seasons to...
No, we know what may be in the future years, so we look to build towards that and hopefully progress, and when the time comes be ready to be part of that.
Any update with contracts in terms of loose tape?
He asks me that every week.
No, I don't. Somebody does, but no, we haven't.
No.
Nothing. Any bumps and bruises for Aberdeen?
There was a few bumps and bruises on the bus on the way back, but like I said, we're good to go. All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.